A grateful nation is paying a tearful farewell to our braves who were protecting our borders in Ladakh at an altitude of 15,000 to 16,000 feet. Our braves were protecting our territory from Chinese aggressors. 20 of them made the supreme sacrifice of their lives. Several are injured, including grievously injured. I'll take you to various parts of our country, and this shows India's strength. Our braves from Tamil Nadu, Bihar, Bengal, Punjab, so many parts of our country, including Jharkhand, making the supreme sacrifice of their lives in Ladakh. Colonel Babu, the commanding officer of the 16th Battalion of the Bihar Regiment, his soldiers of a medium artillery regiment deployed at the line of actual control. The braves and their families, and this is the most remarkable aspect about military families, about 4G families, the families are even braver. They've lost, in some cases, the sole bread earner. Young children, they say they will still send them to the army to protect our nation. Last rites of martyred soldier Havaldar Sunil Kumar performed at Bihta near Patna. The mortal remains of 3 of our martyrs arrived at their hometowns early this morning. Colonel Santosh Babu's mortal remains arrived at Hyderabad. There was a ceremonial wreath-laying ceremony, and now his body will be cremated with full military honors. Mortal remains of Havaldar K. Palani and Sunil Kumar arrived at their native villages and towns in Tamil Nadu and Bihar. Sunil Kumar's son and other family members were there at the airport. Joining me on the broadcast for more on the story, we will cut across to Patna, where India Today's Rohit Singh joins me for more on this. We'll also cut across to Hyderabad, where Ashish joins us from Colonel Babu's residence. But before I go to our reporters, I quickly want to take you through the latest developments that are taking place as these mortal remains were being brought home. The families said, we will not forgive China for this aggression at the line of actual control. At the same time, they said that other members of the family, when they grow up, in one case, a young boy, he will follow in his father's footsteps and join the army.
India stood as one to salute the men who were martyred in fiery clashes with the Chinese troops at the line of actual control. Colonel Santosh Babu, the commanding officer of Army's Bihar 16 Battalion, had been posted at the India-China border for the past 18 months. He was to be transferred to Hyderabad, but continued to remain posted at the border because of the lockdown. Colonel Santosh's grieving family is proud of his sacrifice.
వాళ్ళు కూడా ఇచ్చారు, వాళ్ళు కూడా కల్లాల సంతోష్ బాబు అని చెప్పేసి
అంటే మీకు ఎట్లా అనిపిస్తుంది ఇట్లా ఈ విధంగా జరిగింది కదా?
ఒకవైపు బాధగా ఉంది, ఒకవైపు సంతోషం. దేశం కోసం నా కొడుకు ఇచ్చిన కానీ తల్లిగా బాధపడుతుంది.
As a parent, I have my own grief and my deep worry. As a citizen of India, as a defense family person, I feel proud of my son. I feel proud of my son.
A pall of gloom descended on the house of Aman Kumar in Bihar's Samastipur. Even as the family goes through the pain of losing Kumar, the soldier's father says he will send his younger son to the army to serve the country.
अब बेटा शहीद हो गया देश के लिए, अब इससे और गौरव क्या हो सकता है? आक्रोश है, लेकिन हम क्या कर सकते हैं? सरकार से चाहते हैं कि एक बच्चा और देश की सेवा के लिए मौका मिले हमें।
बोली बड़ लड़ाई हो तो बोला कि नहीं मम्मी ठीक है, तू चिंता नहीं करिए, बढ़िया से ही हो, लद्दाख में ऊपर में ही है, तो करिए बढ़िया ने फोन करेगा और कुछ नहीं कर लगे।
Kundan Ojha, was from Sahibganj in Jharkhand. The soldier had become a father just 17 days back but could not live to see his daughter. Ganesh Ram Kunjam's family in Chhattisgarh, Kanker, was shattered when news about his death reached them.
बोल रहा था कश्मीर से बोल रहा हूँ करके ना मैं गणेश राम कुंजाम का साहब बोल रहा हूँ आपका बच्चा जो है चीन ये है बॉर्डर में चला गया करके ना आप शहीद हो गया हाँ शहीद हो गया करके ना
20 men laid down their lives in the remote heights of Ladakh, far away from their homes, leaving families heartbroken but proud that their sons had died defending the country. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is India's strength. You'd recall in 1962, there was a song after the 62 debacle. Lata Mangeshkar sang a very famous song which had these lines, Koi Sikh, Koi Jat, Maratha, Koi Gurkha, Koi Madrasi. It's the same story today. The braves who've sacrificed themselves in Ladakh, somebody's from Tamil Nadu, somebody's from Bihar, somebody's from Jharkhand, somebody's from Maharashtra, somebody's from Punjab, and all sacrificing their lives for our country, for one India, in the face of this very naked Chinese aggression that we saw at the Galwan Valley area. I want to now cut across to India Today's Rohit Singh, who joins us from Patna. Also with us is Ashish from Hyderabad. Rohit, the valor of our braves we know about, but the families are even braver that they say their younger son, their younger brother, they want him to join the army and defend this country.
Well, absolutely, Gaurav. That's what makes India what it is. This kind of emotions that if you lose a son, you are still willing to send your maybe younger son to the army. Right now I'm in Vaishali, Gaurav, and at the house of a martyr, Jai Kishore Singh, just 22-year-old boy. He joined the army 2 years back and he was posted at the Leh-Ladakh border and laid down his life a couple of days back fighting the Chinese army. But still, you can see his father is here. He has 4 sons. The eldest son is also in the army and he is also deployed on the Indo-Nepal border, Indo-China border in Sikkim. And his younger second son was in Leh-Ladakh where he lost his life. He laid down his life in the line of duty. Raj Kapoor Singh, he is the father of Major Jai Kishore. आपने दूसरे बेटे जो हैं आपके उन्होंने अपनी जो है शहादत दी है. आपके बड़े बेटे भी मतलब सिक्किम में सेना में ही हैं. हाँ. किस तरह के आपकी मतलब मन में भाव आते हैं इस समय जरा बताइए.
भाव बहुत बढ़िया भाव में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. हम लोग देश के साथ हमारा बेटा गया देश के सेवा में और देश के सेवा में शहीद हो गया. मेरा 2 बेटा और है वो भी चला जाएगा देश के सेवा में. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है और मेरा उद्देश्य है कि देश के सेवा करे.
जय किशोर अमर रहे.
मन में कोई आक्रोश है?
आक्रोश है लेकिन हमको कहने से वो सेवा करेगा देश के. बेटा मेरा रहेगा वो आएगा, नहीं रहेगा देश के बेटा रहेगा वो जाएगा.
जय किशोर का नाम रहेगा जब तक सूरज.
Emotions running high. They are saying देश का बेटा है वो, मेरा बेटा नहीं है, देश का बेटा है. And this father is ready to sacrifice his 2 more sons also for the country. So that's the kind of emotions that are running high in this country at various places. And as far as martyr Jai Kishore Singh's remains are concerned, his mortal remains is likely to reach his village sometime in the afternoon or by late evening, and then the final rites will be conducted in his village. Gaurav.
That's the emotion. Every son belongs to the motherland. But these sacrifices should not go in vain. It's not important to die for your country. It's more important to kill the adversary for his country. And that is something that the armed forces are very clear about. I want to now cut across to Hyderabad, where Ashish joins me. Colonel Babu was from Hyderabad. He'd taken over command of the 16th Battalion of the Bihar Regiment. He led from the front, and that was strength of character. He always led from the front, and he wanted his son to join the army. Ashish, the family is very clear. The young boy will join the army one day.
Yes, Gaurav, you are absolutely right. We are, in fact, outside the house of Colonel Babu in Suryapet. It's a Suryapet district. Suryapet is a small town, some 3-hour drive from Hyderabad, and you can see, I'll ask my camera person to show the mortar remain of Colonel Babu. Now, wreath-laying ceremony is now, it will be held, and officials of Bihar regiment, they are here. The men of Bihar regiment, they are dressed here, they are prepared here. Wreath-laying ceremony is a very final moment, and after wreath-laying ceremony, all the three representatives of all the three defense wing, Army, Air Force and Navy, they will offer wreath to Colonel Babu's mortar remain, and then the final procession, final journey will start from this particular ancestral house of Colonel Babu. They have a 6-acre property, some 7 kilometers from his house in Suryapet. There, the final rite will be performed. And at around 10:30, what we are expecting, that final rite of Colonel Babu will be performed at that particular 6-acre property. But here, Gaurav, I can clearly see how people are angry. They are sad also, they are proud also, particularly if we talk about family, both mother and father, both they are very proud on their son. Colonel Babu was the only son of this family. Now he has left behind a 9-year-old daughter and 4-year-old son. His wife, she's also very much a proud wife, and that's what the entire Suryapet, we witnessed in fact from the morning, that how people of Suryapet, they came and they offered their final bid adieu to Colonel Babu, and now you can see the final wreath laying ceremony is on here. And yes, it's a very sad moment, very emotional moment we can say, but clearly, if you talk about people, if you speak to the people of Suryapet, in fact Telangana, in Hyderabad also, when yesterday we witnessed the arrival of mortal remain of Colonel Babu at Hakimpet Air Force Base, there also we saw hundreds of locals. They gathered, they chanted Bharat Mata Ki Jai slogan, Colonel Babu Amar Rahe slogan, and they all clearly, the mood of the nation is that we should not let go these sacrifice in vain, and that's the clear mood of this nation, of Telangana, of Hyderabad, of Suryapet. And this is the message we get from the people, Gaurav.
Colonel Babu had taken over command of the 16th Battalion of the Bihar Regiment in this very difficult high altitude area in Galwan where they were deployed. He ensured that India's territorial integrity was maintained, did not let Chinese troops advance. In fact, he was the officer who was to verify whether the Chinese had withdrawn from the LAC at Patrol Point 14, which was the agreement between senior commanders. And when he personally led that verification team, the Chinese attacked him. This shows China's deceit, Ashish. China, on one hand, pretends to be India's friend. On the other hand, this is a major stab in the back. A brave officer who led from the front. His aim was to protect his soldiers. He made the supreme sacrifice of his life in Galwan. Ashish.
Yes, Gaurav, you are absolutely right. If we talk about the age of Colonel Babu, he was just 37 years of age. It was his father's dream, in fact, who always wanted to see his son in olive green, and that's why Colonel Babu, when as very young age, he started his army journey or olive green journey as a student of Sainik school, and then to NDA, and finally he was posted at several fronts. I was speaking to his father, in fact, and he said that in his service, almost 15-year service, he always been posted in field, and he always preferred and loved field deployment. He was expected to come back to Hyderabad for a deployment, but due to lockdown and further this escalation at Ladakh border, he and his company was sent to Ladakh border. There he led the forces, his command from the front. He was commanding officer, and he commanded from the front to his men, and he gave supreme sacrifice, and that shows the clear that how brave and how great soldier Colonel Babu was, that he always preferred leading from the front. He never chose any peace or any deployment of peacetime deployment. He always been into insurgency. His first posting was in fact in JNK. From there, JNK, he started his career, and he sacrificed his life in Ladakh border. So clearly, father, mother, I was speaking to everyone in his house. Everyone has only one opinion, that Colonel Babu was a brave soldier. He fought bravely, and he sacrificed his life for the nation, for the safety and security of we people and people of this country, and securing the border of our country, Gaurav. So, and that's why we can see here hundreds of people coming, and they are offering their final a goodbye to Colonel Babu. He was a popular face. He was a very familiar face in this locality, and Suryapet is a small town, and you can see the way people have come here, the way people are offering their final goodbye. It shows that how country is completely standing united against our armed forces, our men who led our forces at the border, who gave their supreme sacrifice, and country is completely standing behind them, and we are very proud on their supreme sacrifice, and we'll ensure
that we need to see
that their supreme sacrifice goes no in vain.
No, that we need to ensure, that we need to see whether this country takes a firm resolve to fight this Chinese aggression, and more than just militarily. There are multiple levels of responses, economically, diplomatically, socially, militarily, and we need to see whether we respond as one nation, because this loss of life is completely unacceptable. What China has done is a way where uncivilized countries work. India and China were negotiating. I want to now quickly bring in India Today's editor defense, Abhishek Bhalla, for more on the story. And Abhishek, as we see Colonel Babu's mortal remains, final respects being paid with full military honors, and then his body will be consigned to flames, we must ensure that the sacrifice is not in vain. And this is India being stabbed in the back. We've lost 20 of our braves. Many are injured because China behaved in a rather uncivilized manner. There were negotiations going on, and China attacked our troops, unarmed troops. Abhishek.
Gaurav, what happened on Monday evening was extremely barbaric, one can say. And, you know, for this to have happened at a time when there were talks of de-escalation, in fact, on that same day, through the day, there had been discussions between military commanders how to disengage and pull back. Indian Army was under the impression that a retreat will take place. But for some reason, China did not adhere to the discussions that were happening. Now the situation has completely changed on the ground. Multiple sources continue to say that the situation is extremely volatile. And in this scenario, de-escalation cannot be a one-way process. If it has to happen both ways. If it's not going to be that way, then the Indian Army obviously will have to respond. And there are a few developments expected today, Gaurav, and those are very important developments. One is that the meeting between major generals from two sides is likely to continue. Hopefully some resolution will be found there. The other is there are some high-level meetings in New Delhi to chart out the course of action. Now, what I've been told is that there is an operational alertness sounded for all three armed forces, and that's because no chances can be taken from here onwards.
No, because this is an act of war. This is naked aggression on China's behalf. You cannot sugarcoat it. You cannot say it in any other way. Chinese soldiers, not terrorists, Chinese soldiers attacked Indian soldiers at the line of actual control. This is an act of war. We've lost 20 Braves. They may have lost, whether it's 30, 40 or 50. That's immaterial. The aggression came from China. And then China claims that the Galwan Valley belongs to them. It just goes on to show that all the border agreements that we've had, Abhishek, from 1993 to 1996 to 2014 to subsequent Wuhan and Mamallapuram, all of that was only a Chinese facade to build militarily, to build infrastructure in this area and then take us on. Mortal remains now getting their last respects. This was the sounding of the last post. This is a farewell being paid to a brother in arms, tributes being paid, a farewell to a brother in arms, to a comrade in arms who's made the supreme sacrifice. But after the last post, there's always the rouse. The rouse means we bid you farewell, but we rise once again. We rise once again to defend our country, to defend the honor for which you made the supreme sacrifice. Then facing fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods. This is valor, unparalleled valor of Colonel Santosh Babu and 19 Jawans of the 16th Battalion of the Bihar Regiment and the Medium Artillery Regiment. As we bid farewell to our braves, I leave you with these images. When we come back from the other side of a quick break, we will talk about India's next course of action, because these deaths, this sacrifice cannot go in vain.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.